welcome back to another video on my channel. So today I am doing a red and white glittery design. I'm just going to show you the products that I'm going to be using. So we've got Royal Red, which is just a plain red from Gel Perfection. We've got Alaska, which is Gel Perfection's white, and then we've got two glitters. They're both from Sparkle Supplies UK, and there's a red and an iridescent. So we've got iridescent ice and chili. I'm just going to open them so you can see them both properly. So here is both of those beautiful glitters. They're absolutely stunning. I'm so excited to use them. So first of all, as always, I'm going to do the base of the nail. So I actually only know what I'm doing on like 3 of the colours. So 3 of the nails even, not colours. That doesn't make any sense. But I only know what I'm doing on 3 so far. And then the other 2 I would just do like as I think of something that will go with the 3 that I've got planned. And chances are I won't even end up with the 3 that I've got planned either, because most of the time I come to do them and then I don't like them for any reason, and you know, I just end up going completely off track. But as long as we like them in the end, it doesn't matter. So I'm doing one red base. I'm going to pop that straight in, and then I'm doing the other one with a white base. I'm going to do 2 coats on both of these, and then I'm going to apply a layer of Super Base, which is a rubber base coat. You can use a rubber base, you can use a builder gel, you can use whatever you usually do when you're using chunky glitter with gels. I use rubber base because obviously they are nice and thick. I have used it in a recent video, I think it was only a few days ago, I think, maybe just within the past week or a little bit before that, I don't remember, but I have got one on my channel of how to do it, but obviously I am going to be showing it you briefly again. So just pop them in there and I will do another coat on them both, but I'm going to do two white ones and 1 red for now, and then as I said, like, I will figure out what I'm going to do after that. So just off camera real quick, I'm going to do the second coat of colour on these 3 nails and also pop a coat of Super Base on them, but I'm not going to cure it, I'm just going to leave it wet, and then I'll join you back here to show you what we do next. So starting with the first white nail, I'm just going to get some rubber base and apply a nice generous layer over the top. I'm just making sure that I'm covering the whole nail and there isn't any missing anywhere. And that we've got a nice generous layer over the whole nail. And then once I've done that, we can apply the glitter. So I'm not going to be tipping it over, because I'm not bothered about it being like totally full coverage. So I'm just going to get my glitter ready, and then I'm going to use a brush to pick up some of the glitter. So I'm just going to use, I'm not going to use that one. I'm just using an old acrylic brush just to pick up some specks of glitter, and I'm just placing those on the nail. I'm not messing about with it too much. I'm just interested at first in literally just getting the glitter on the nail to start with. And then if I get a bit of a build up on my brush of glitter that I don't want on there, I'm just going to give it a quick wipe off on some paper towel, and then I can pick up a few more pieces. Now I'm not bothered about it being like totally full coverage, I just want it to be majority covered. So once I've got to that stage, I can then start pressing down, making sure that everything is nice and smooth, and if there is any areas that I want a bit more, I can just pick up a couple more specks and place them where I want them. And then doing it this way with chunky glitter and placing it on where you want it means you're more likely to get it nice and smooth, which means you won't have to like buff and file it quite as much, and you won't need as much gel over the top of it to encapsulate it, so it's not going to end up really thick and a big bulky nail. So once we've got them all on there, I can then start moving and getting them where I want it. And then once I'm happy, I will pop it in the lamp for a full cure. If you look from the side, you'll be able to see if you've got any areas that are really raised, and then you can manipulate them to be in a better place. So let me just show you that. Let me just move this, else it's not going to focus properly. So you can just have a look. So as you can see over here, I've got a little bit that's sticking up. So instead of trying to push that down because it's an odd shape, I'm just going to take it off. And then I'm going to look from all other angles. making sure I'm happy. Not going to be totally flat, of course, because the nail isn't totally flat itself, so you're going to have the corners of some pieces that are large sticking up. But when you're overall happy and it's all looking okay, you can then pop it in the lamp. So if you look at it from all angles, you can see here that it's not really raised anywhere. There is a couple of lumpy bits, but they're not anything major, and they are small enough to be easily covered by the next layers of gel. So I'm going to pop that one into the lamp, and I'm going to do the same thing with the red. So I'm just going to pop a layer of Super Base on this one, just like I did with the other one. Let's tip it up a little bit. There's not much left in this bottle. This is just my my channel bottle. I have some for clients and some for the channel, just so I don't well, I have some are obviously I use a lot with glitter, so they've got little bits of glitter and stuff, so I just make sure that I use those only when I'm using glitter, so it doesn't matter that it's a bit contaminated. So once I've done that and it's all nice and applied, I'm going to get my red and we're going to apply it in the exact same way. So just make sure you get all of the glitter out of the brush that you've just used. And I'm just going to do the same thing, picking some pieces up, placing it down. This is such a beautiful glitter. We are actually going to be having these nails as matte nails, so I'm excited to see what they're going to look like with a matte top coat. It's a very, very pretty glitter. There's quite a few different red glitters that you can get from Sparkle Supplies. I do have a few of them, but I just decided to use this one for this video. I'm just manipulating them into place. And I can pick a couple more bits up and put them where I need them. And then I'm just placing where I want them, and then once I've done that I can again pop it in the lamp for a full cure and get that piece off me. Just want one speck over here. Let's fill the sides. And then again, I'm just going to turn it onto its side and look at it from all angles and make sure that any bits that are sticking up I can pat down a little bit more, and if it's not possible to pop it down a bit more, then I can remove any bits that I want or anything like that. Just fill in some of the gaps. Side walls are a bit bare, so I'm just popping some more there. I'll pop him. I just put him down and picked him up by accident. Put that one up here. Just keep moving it around. Okay, and then once I'm happy, again, I'm going to pop it in the lamp for a full cure. Okay, so once this one is cured, I'm then going to pop another layer of Super Base on top. And this layer, I'm placing it on first, and then I'm going to float it over a little bit afterwards. But at first, I really want to like almost rub it into the nail to make sure that there is some between every single speck of glitter. Because it's easy for you to just wipe over it and just miss in between pieces. So you really want to make sure that you're like pushing it in and going in all different directions and making sure it's really in there. So just give it like a little scrub. Obviously be a bit more careful than I am being. If you're doing it on an actual person, I should have base coat everywhere. But then once I've done that, and it's nice and thin now because obviously I've just scrubbed it in and then took all excess off as I'm going over it at the end. And then I'm going to get a bit more on my brush. You're not using it like a builder gel as such, because obviously builder you need to build an apex and everything, but you are using it slightly thicker than if you were applying it just as a base coat, but not too thick where it won't cure. You could always, if you're too nervous about doing it a bit generously, you could do 2 coats of it thin instead. And then if you look at it from all angles, it is lovely and smooth. I'm not sure if you can tell because it's a bit difficult to focus on such a small area, but It's nice and smooth, so I'm popping that in. I'm going to do the same on my red nail. So both of these are now out of the lamp and cured. So at this point you can take off your tacky layer and give them a nice little buff. You can do whatever you want. I'm not going to do that because I've looked at them from all angles and they're actually nice and smooth. So I'm just going to keep them as they are. Obviously if you have got any lumps and bumps and stuff, then you can give them a quick file at this point. Just to make sure they're all nice and smooth. But like I said, I'm not going to bother. So I am just going to pop my matte top coat on now. So I'm just going to get that out of my drawer. It says when I've actually located it, there it is. So I'm going to be using Blue Skies No Wipe matte top coat for them. And I'm just going to put a layer of those over the top. A layer of that over the top of them both. Make sure that it's all completely covered so you don't have any random bits that are shiny. I'm always so obsessive about painting with matte top coat, especially if I'm leaving it matte. Like if I'm just painting it matte because I want to paint on top of a matte surface, then that's fine, it doesn't have to be perfect. But when you're leaving it like that, I feel like there's a lot of pressure to make sure that it's all absolutely covered and nice and even. And if you use it too generously as well with matte top coat, I found it is really easy for it to like streak, which is very annoying. So I'm just going to make sure you're nice and careful and getting it as smooth as you can. And then I'm just going to pop this one in the lamp, and by the time I put this one in, that other one should be cured. And here they are out of the lamp. So they're going to do some nail art for Christmas. So I think I'm going to do like a bauble sort of thing on one, and then we're going to have some snowflakes and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to do red baubles on this one. Some white snowflakes on this one, and then I haven't figured out what I'm going to do on top of that middle one just yet, but we will get to it eventually. So I'm going to be using Magpie's white gel paint and Magpie's red gel paint for this, just because they're both very similar colours to the colours that I've used in the set, so that's helpful. Obviously white is white, but the red is very, very similar to Royal Red that I've been using today from Gel Perfection, so that's good. So on this nail, first of all, I'm going to create my baubles, which are going to be out of like a shimmery sort of effect. Actually, I lied, I'm not going to do that first, I'm going to do that after. So first of all, I'm going in with the white gel paint from Magpie Beauty, no, with the red gel paint, sorry, from Magpie Beauty. I'm just popping some on my brush and then pulling my brush all the way through it to make sure that all of my bristles are coated, so none of them try to separate from the rest or anything like that. And I'm just going to create a line here, just nice and thin. I'm using these because they don't need to be top coated, so they're perfect for doing nail art on top of matte. And then one down here. I like to just sort of map out where I want the lines first before I go all in and do it like exactly how I want it, and then when I'm happy I can go in with a thicker line and a bit more product. And then once I've done that, I am going to create like a little loop here and here. So we're going to come from this way and go upwards like that. I keep putting my hand in the red gel pot, which is really unhelpful. I'm in such a mess. And then I can go in a bit thicker once I'm happy with where it's placed. And then I'm also going to do another one coming from here and going upwards. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to pop that in the lamp now because the next bit is going to be done slightly differently. So I'm just going to pop that in for a full cure. And basically what we're going to be doing with this nail is using the background like as our bauble. So we're going to create a circle, and obviously in that circle we're going to put normal top coat. But first of all we're just going to use some, we just need an outline. So we're going to be using both of these stamping plates. So this one is an XY one, so it's from Amazon, and we're going to use this cute little tree one here, I think. And then the other one, I'm going to be using this one here. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp those on, and then once they're stamped on, we're going to go over the stamp in a circle and top coat it with no wipe top coat, and then that glitter should shine through and it'll look like we've got some glittery baubles. And they're still going to be red, but we're going to be able to see the base all nice and glittery. So I'm going to stamp those on now. I'm using a red stamping polish from Clear Jelly Stamper. It's number 600 or number 9. I have no idea which one it is, but there you go. It's one or the other. So first of all, I'm just going to stamp this little one out of this design here. I am going to do the stamping part itself off camera because I always explain, like, the stamping plates reflect the light and it's really difficult, so I'm going to just try and avoid that issue. And then I'm just going to stamp that straight on. So this one is going to be down here because it's smaller. The red is different to the red that I've used, like Magpie's red, which is a bit annoying, but it's one of those things that you can't do anything about it. So we're not going to dwell on it. So I'm going to use the next one now. So this one is going to be this up here. I think I might use this one instead. I'm not 100%. I'm going to see what they both look like, just because I really want to be able to see that what's it called, through the glitter. So I'm just thinking the more background it's got on the actual bauble itself, the less of that we're going to be able to see. But I do really like that Christmas tree one. It's very cute. So I'm just going to have a look what it looks like. I'm not really a fan of either of them, to be honest with you. I think they're too thin. But, oh, we've not got any focus going on here. But this one's cute. I think I'm going to stay with that. That's really sweet. So I've popped some no wipe top coat on my palette. I'm just going to pick that up now to fill in these baubles. So first of all, I'm just applying it with a dotting tool to just create like the majority of the design because they're quite large, and then I will use a smaller brush to really make sure that I've got everywhere, because obviously every part of this stamped bauble has to be top coated, else it won't last. So I'm just doing that, and then I'm going to get another little brush, make sure that I've gone right up to the edges and covered absolutely every single area of the stamping to make sure it's nice and secured. So I'm just going to do this bit up here. So you're going slightly just outside the stamping, really, just do it slightly bigger just to make sure that right up to the edges is nice and sealed. And then once you've done that, we can top coat this, and this nail is finished. And then all we need to do is just throw on a few snowflakes on the other nail. Super, super quick for the other one. And then that's it. So I'm going to pop that into the lamp now. We can see that glitter through there, which is really cute. Still haven't figured out what I'm going to be doing on that middle nail yet. I'm not sure. So we'll have to work out that while I'm doing this one. So on this one, like I said, we're just going to do something really nice and easy. Few, what are they called, snowflakes, super simple. So I'm just going to do a dot here, and I'm going to do quite a large one. So you've got 5 dots. I'm going to do, yeah, I think I'm going to leave it like that. So I'm going to do another dot here. I've done these types of snowflakes on my channel so often, so you'll have definitely seen me do this before, but never mind. This is just my go-to way of doing them because it's just super quick and easy, very simple. And then I'm just going to get my little brush. I'm just going to pop a little bit of the paint on my brush, but I'm not really using the paint as such, like I'm just making sure it's on there, but really pulling it through so there's not a lot of product there, because we're basically just going to be using the product that's already on the nail for this. So I'm just doing the longer ones first, because they obviously need more product to get through them. And once I've done that, take off the excess again, and then I'm just going to pull through those couple that are left. And again, because I've used this gel paint, I don't need to top coat it, so it's Nice and quick and easy. And then I'm just going to do one dot down here. I'm just going to pull through that as well. Super simple. So just going to leave that like that. So I've decided against like sorting out the other nails basically. I'm just going to leave it as these two. So you will hear me talk about in this video a tie-dye nail. I've decided against it. I don't like the tie-dye. I was going to have it as a background for design, but I've changed my mind. I'm not keen on it, so I'm going to leave it as it is. And I'm just going to have the video about these two nails because I actually really like them. I love how they turned out. It'll also make the video a little bit shorter as well because my videos have been quite long lately, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll leave a little clip of them on a background like at the end, and I'll be back really soon with another video. Bye!